All right. I know I'm late because I was trying to get on Facebook. Through Zoom. And it says I do not have permission again. Okay. So here I'm on my phone. Was not prepared for this. Okay. It's all good. It's all perfect. That's where I'm at. It's all perfect. So that's why there's no topic listed, because I had it all prepared on the Zoom. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Right there, I see all kinds of stuff popping up. Good morning. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? Oh, there's a lot of energy. That's what I want to talk about today. Navigating the energies. Oh my gosh, there's just been so much. And I had a whole article, but I don't know if I can pull it up because I'm on a different page. So it's talking about, she's talking about all the Shekinah Rose. If you are familiar with Shekinah Rose, check out her page. You can sign up for her newsletter. She's a Blu-ray, empath, light worker, all those labels. And she posted, I don't know if she posted it, or anyway, I read it under somebody else, and it's her post or her newsletter. I'm not really sure. I felt a little discombobulated just coming back in today after being gone for, I don't know, 12 days, 14 days, something like that. So good morning, everybody. Let me start with, my name is Marty Forrest, and I am an empath, Blu-ray, light worker, all of those things. Good morning. I'm going to pull it up on my computer so I can see it. I am a coach, mentor, teacher, which is how I'm here. Oops, hold on. There we go. Close that. Mute my computer, but I need to be able to see the comments. So if you see me looking sideways, that's what I'm looking at. All right. Author, coaching, all kinds of good stuff. And I was gone all last week. I was at a Vision Quest. A couple of my friends, we've been doing this for years. It's a native ceremony, and I went to support. So as an empath, this has been an interesting journey because I'm typically either in it, participating, fasting for 3 or 4 days. And this year I did not. I just got to be there and be present and take care of the people that were there. It's a whole new experience for me, which was good. And the first night they went out, we had the eclipse. So how's everybody doing since the eclipse? Leave me your comments. Let me know, how are you doing? Good morning. Me too. Me too. Thank you. I am glad to be back. I'm happy. I missed everybody. I did. I was like, wow, I'm really missing my people. Those are my people. You are my people. Just all different experiences. So missing the connection here. Yeah. So I realized that a few days ago. I was like, wow, I'm really missing being here and hanging out with you all for a minute. So I feel like I'm still landing. And we all got to be together. There was, I don't know, 10 of us or so. 2 that were doing their Vision Quest, and the rest of us are there to support. We got to watch the eclipse. I got some really amazing pictures because we were right in the path where we were at. I don't know if it was here where I live. It was 2 hours away. So I know in various places it's like, so through Oklahoma and Texas. And we had clouds. And then they would part just long enough for me to get a good picture. And because of the clouds, it gave it a great little accent. It was amazing. Just amazing. So how are y'all doing? Post-eclipse, the lunar and then the solar, in these gateways, in these portals, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, there's a lot. And then there's a lot of plasmic energy coming in. There's a lot of, somebody asked me, and I'm like, I don't really know what that is. The rainbow energy, our rainbow energy light body has been upgraded, also being upgraded. So my topic for the day was navigating the energies, because there's been a lot of energies and it's all new. But what's showing up is the old. Clearing the old. Still. Not to be like it's a bad thing. It's not. It's that we're clearing out the old and everybody's in a different place. On the journey. So, I've been doing this a while. I've been on this path for a while. I mean, I feel like I've been kind of grandfathered in, just like with technology. Some of us have been very grandfathered into this, just moving along with it. And the more we're conscious and pay attention and aware, not that it's easier, we're just at a different place. And I have a friend that was here, and he participated he was doing his vision quest, and he's really just kind of waking up. He's been aware of a lot, but all of a sudden something shifted. His mom died. And then his twin brother, good morning, Michelle, Beyonce, I don't know. Not with me, that I'm aware of. Yeah, we haven't talked actually since I've been back, so I'm on my phone because I couldn't get on Zoom. So that would be the way we would do it. We tried it the other way, it didn't work. So it's been interesting to witness and to be, because I coach with him also, even though he's a really good friend, we do a lot of coaching together. And so that he's like, you have an idea, you just helped me so much. And then to watch him, how do I say it? It feels like coming online. Like suddenly he's just wide open and awake, and spirit helpers and these things. So this major event in his life when his mom passed, and then he learned that his twin brother, who was out in his addiction, passed. So a lot of stuff. So sometimes it's something major that happens in our life like that we just like wake up. We're suddenly conscious. Things that, and I don't know what it's the catalyst of something major. Some major transition that happened in our life. Not always that kind of thing, but for some it's just a simple, thank you. Yes, she will. Absolutely. I haven't reached out. She hasn't reached out. I just got back, and then my friend just left this morning. So yeah, so we'll talk this week. And we have not been coming on together, but we had a lot of fun when we did. So navigating these energies. So I was sharing all that because it's where you are on your path. And what we're physically experiencing. It lays some people out. Some people just get that low energy. Some people get the ringing in the ears. Some people are really hungry. Some people are not hungry. Sometimes we're just cruising and we're feeling like we're totally in the flow. And then other times we're like flat on our butt going, oh my God, what happened? So there's just a lot of energy, and our body is attempting to, the symptoms, flu-like symptoms, frequency light upgrade. That's the acronym. Flu-like frequency light upgrade. We're experiencing flu-like symptoms. Doesn't mean they're all ascension symptoms. If you feel like you need to go see a doctor to check it out, do that. Do that for yourself. I'm not a doctor person, so I typically don't, but if I felt that there was a need, if I'm broken, I need to be stitched, yeah, I'm going to go. So paying attention, there'll be pressure on your chest. So we're having all these experiences. There's a level of trusting ourselves, checking in with ourselves, asking your helpers, asking your higher self, spirit, creator, God, whatever you call it. Is it mine? We're moving through this for ourselves. We're releasing old for ourselves and for the collective. And it's lifetimes from the beginning of when we were incarnated as a human. So many, many lifetimes that we're here now, clearing, purging. So it seems like a lot, because it is. It's relative, right? Whether it's a lot or not, it's a word we use. It's wherever we are. How do we navigate these things? They're happening. We're aware of them. We're sensitive to them. I have noticed more sensitivity. Have you noticed that you're more sensitive? the sensitivity is heightened, or your intuition is off the charts. Like, it's just on. It's just constantly. You're so aligned and in that flow, and they just come, and you just know. And mine is we call it intuition. Sometimes it's the telepathy. Like, I'm that connected, and I hear the thoughts. So how is that for you all? What have you been noticing for yourself? When we look at the whole of our human experience, I was going to say existence, but it's a collective. You look at the whole of the planet and humans and our evolution. Some people are just where they are in their box. That's how they like to live, and they're not interested in changing. And then there's those of us that are really sensitive, really today, in the last, I don't know, probably a few years, really leaning in and stepping into your gift as an empath and a highly sensitive light worker, grid worker, Blu-ray, whatever that is for you, whatever label. Very sentimental, more loving, more caring, which is, yes, very much moving into that fifth dimension. And we're also, I've heard people call us the walker of two worlds, because we're still navigating through the old in that third dimension as we're clearing the old and moving into that sentimental, loving, caring space of fifth dimension, where it's love, the environment, the creation that we're creating. We are creating that fifth dimension of unconditional love. Unity is community, that kind of stuff. But we're navigating both worlds, where we are still in those relationships, some of them, with our families. We're still in many of those relationships, and we're clearing our stuff, and for the collective. We didn't come to play small. It looks different for each one of us. So if we're still trying to ignore it or dismiss it or hide, it might work for a while. I haven't found it to be very effective, especially because the more we are upgraded in our energy and our DNA, the more sensitive we become, the more light we can hold, which is where the symptoms are. I started to go there earlier. The symptoms, those flu-like symptoms, frequency light upgrade, as we are upgrading to hold more light in ourselves as a human, it's moving and pushing against what's there, the trauma, the beliefs, the things that have happened to us, our experiences. So it's kind of pushing that to move. So if you're noticing I had different people popping back into my life, sometimes physically, and sometimes I'll just like see a picture or something because they're still on Facebook or whatever, and I'll see them and they just check in. Where's my charge around that? Is there still a charge? Because they're not in my life anymore. You know, I'm not in a relationship with them. So check in with yourself. Do I have a charge? Is there something old still lingering there? I always check in, like, why am I seeing this now? Is there something like, and I just feel into my body, where am I at with this person? And what happened? And how I ended it. I was talking with my friend, I said, you know, I used to, long ago, it feels like long ago, several years ago, I would do whatever it took to keep that relationship going and try to make it work. And I had to work to make it work. And it wasn't working. Did you follow that? Now, before I met my husband, that's been 12 years now. So 12 years ago, all of my relationships, all of my romantic relationships, I had to work at them. Because I wasn't clear in who I was. So I'm still walking through my own stuff. And I had to work at the relationship to make it work. And I had friendships that were the same way. And after the last relationship the last one before my husband. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to work to make this work. I'm done with being in romantic relationships that take a lot of work. I wasn't quite done with all the friendships. And then I met my husband. And we had some residual things, but we were so open in our communication and just knowing where we were at, knowing our patterns and what we've done. Like, let's just table it. When it shows up, let's just table it. Let's talk about it so that we don't bring it into our relationship. And we've done really well at that. And my friendships, that's another story. They all didn't end so well. Did I say that right? They didn't end so well. They just ended. I'm like, whether somebody else ended it or I said I'm done. Because I had to be done trying to work at it. Trying to make it be something that it wasn't. It worked until it didn't. And then I'd keep trying to make it work. Yeah. How many of us do that? So, taking a look at our relationships. We're in some of those still, and we get to show up different. Because we're changing. Have you noticed? I know I'm talking about navigating the energies, and I'm a little bit off of that, but I know that I just listen. Whatever comes through, comes through. And I've been experiencing changes internally that seem to be automatic. There's not a lot of effort. I'm noticing that I'm doing things different. I'm like, like just observing. Okay, I'm doing this different. I'm saying different things, or I'm being more, not sure the word I want, honest with myself and authentic in my speaking. I feel like I am pretty that, and then there's still places that I go and I'm like, oh, there's still some stuff that I get to clear out. And that's a lot of how we navigate it. Is we turn, my friend says, turn the blinker inward, go inward, turn your blinkers inward, so you're looking internally, because there's nothing out there that is going to help me. Words, assistance, but looking externally for what's going to help me internally is when I'm looking to someone else for answers. Because I have a coach and I coach. So I'm kind of like, how do I navigate that conversation? Because there are people that we get to guide and help and mentor, and then that person gets to find their own path. And when I didn't know, I needed help. When I didn't know how to navigate it, I needed help. And sometimes there's just a moment in time, and some, like a session, and sometimes it's long term. But when I have blind spots, I can't see me. Anybody familiar with landmark education? So the blind spots, I know what I know. I even know a lot of things I don't know. And then there's the blind spot, I don't know what I don't know. And that's what we have. Our friends that are really, truly honest with us and reflecting us. Coaches, mentors, therapists, whatever that is. We have someone to help us see ourselves. To see our own blind spots. Sometimes our shadow side. Sometimes people can just pray about it and ask Spirit to show you. I don't always trust that. That's my truth. I don't always trust that. I do today. I trust that way much more today, but I don't always trust that because I haven't trusted myself for my whole life until the last few years. And that's true for most of us. My experience of most of us that are empathic never learned how to trust ourselves. And that's part of navigating the energy. When we learn how to trust ourselves, trusting what we feel, trusting what we're reading energetically. Trusting that. And then taking the action or the guidance that we receive intuitively. The basic question for me is it my stuff? That's my default. I go to that question when I don't know what's happening. I can feel it. I'm feeling it all. I'm like, and then I think it's me. And I start getting my little attitude or my emotional state or whatever's going on. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let me just back the train up. Go, oh, is this my stuff? Oh. And just feel that. Feel the question. Is it my stuff? There might be some that is mine. That's the reflection of the bigger picture. That makes sense? Because we all have our stuff, right? We all have what's going on for us. As the energy's pushing our self, our old stuff so we can see it. Yes, so there's some that's mine. And then often that's either the reflection of this collective piece, the grief, the anger, the sadness, all that stuff. We're feeling it for the world. So taking care of yourself. Somebody asked me just while I was on my trip, like, how do we learn to trust ourselves? Because when we have that intuitive hit, or we read the energy, or we felt something, boom, the mind jumps right in there in less than 3 seconds and dismisses it. Oh, no, that's not what just happened. He wasn't being a jerk. Yeah. We heard it, we read it, we felt it, and then we dismiss it. Because we're empathic, we're super compassionate, and then we are like, oh, well, he didn't mean that. Or they didn't mean that, whoever it was, he or she, doesn't matter. They didn't really mean to be like that. They're just having a bad day. They're being an asshole. You read it right. But our mind is quick. Right? So trusting that. 12 a.m. in Australia. Well, good morning. Good morning to you. Yes, it's, yep, 9:30 here, 12 a.m. there. Oh, thanks for showing up. So instead of the mind jumping in, just park it. Whatever your feeling is, whatever that intuitive hit was, whatever that was that you read that was so subtle, you weren't even sure you picked it up. So park that. So I just say park it on the back burner. I'll park it. And never dismiss it anymore. I'm telling you, don't dismiss it. Just park it over here. Let your mind wander where it goes. Park it over here and the evidence will be revealed. So, real-time situation. I show up where I'm going. Have you got anything real little on me, please? Hi, Catherine. No, yeah, let me just sit with that. So I meet this woman and I'm like, there's something. I don't really know what it is yet, but there's something that's just like kind of poking at me energetically. And I just watched and observed. That was it. I watched and observed. I did not dismiss it because the person was very pleasant, very kind, very nice to talk to, very helpful. There was something and then two other people said the same thing. Something's really something about that person. Okay, validation. There's my validation that I'm not the only one sensing it. I never got a super clear answer, but I did have a conversation with them. and the type of relationship that they're in. And she's an empath. Also, she's like, I'm not really sure, like that whole conversation. And I walked away from the conversation. And I thought, there's still something. Can't quite put a finger on. Talked to my friend. He said the same thing. Still don't know. But I'm not dismissing it either. And I can't even quite identify what that something is. Part of it is that it feels that they're dissociated from themselves. So rather than judging it or judging the person, simply know that you're picking up something. Sometimes it's a momentary thing. Sometimes it's something in their makeup. And simply put that over here until you get more information. And sometimes we never do. But that's how we begin to build the trust with ourselves. We're never, I say never, that's probably a little extreme. We're rarely ever wrong in what we're reading. Although it may not be revealed right away. So that's about people. When we have this plasmic energy coming in, portals are open through the eclipses, and we're feeling all this other energy, pushing our own stuff up, listening to your body. I don't always know what the energy is. I can't come and give you a report. Oh, it's all this plasma. I read that from Shakina. I actually wanted to share. I wanted to read the whole thing, and now that I'm on my phone, so that didn't work. So apparently I wasn't supposed to do it that way. It's okay. But I have people that I trust, and I read what they put out there, because they read the energies. They know what's coming in. I don't read it that way. I know I feel it, and I know it's affecting me. So how do we navigate that? Because maybe you don't know either. You just know you're feeling something. And we're quick. Our mind is quick to base it on our historical experience. Oh, it feels like this, so it must be that. And we run off with a story about it and make it about ourselves. And you do that? I never did that. No, Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, good morning. So I have asked, please share, where have you been? How has your experience been with this eclipse season? Some pretty intense energies. There's been a lot of energies. So when we do these ceremonies, this was a vision quest. We have 4 days where we are in a purification. So we're just disconnecting from this world. Technology, our interactions, right? Loads, all that stuff. And then we have 4 days of fasting for the people that are fasting. I didn't fast this time. And then there's 4 days of reintegration. So it's a total of 12 days, which ended, yesterday was the 12th day. So we're more open. Of course we do. And okay, I don't know how else to say this, but stop judging yourself for it. It's what the mind does. And it's, of course, that's relative, right? That's a process in itself to not judge ourselves. So just be kind. Know that that's what our mind does. So when we're in this period of time, this 12 days, we went out and went to a meeting, and I left, and my husband, when I got home, he's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I think it was a little too much. Even though I didn't do the fasting, I'm still in that ceremony." And so it takes a little time, as on the last 4 days, to start to reintegrate spiritually into this. And so today's the first day. So when I first got on here, I'm like, kind of feeling like I'm just landing. So being kind, being gentle, allowing ourselves to navigate how we need to, whatever that might look like for you. For some people, it's to go out and walk or to run or to exercise and move the energy out. For some people, it's to lay down and allow the energy to move. I second guess myself a lot when others see someone differently to who I see. Of course. And if they're not empathic, or if there's someone who's still justifying for people or making excuses, because every one of us senses something different. Sometimes it's very similar, but we may read something a little different. And if they're not empathic, and even my husband who is empathic, sometimes he will make reasons for why it happened that way. Just gotta see me going like sideways, going what? It feels dismissive. Of course, hitting triggers of, yes, we're taught. So let me finish that one. I second guess. I'm going to come to you, Alita. I second guess myself a lot when others, yes. So it feels very dismissive. If I'm sharing something and then they, oh, well, they, da, 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 and they tell you something else. That doesn't match, right? Because they're still making their excuses or justifications. That's their journey. So take that when you're second guessing yourself and someone sees it differently, just park it over here until the evidence reveals itself to you. Rather than second guessing, that's just one way you can do that. I kind of go, okay, let me just park that. Okay, you see it different, I have a different feeling, and then let the energy reveal itself. Or their behavior will show you, or something will come and you'll get that clarity. You're not incorrect. Sometimes our interpretation of what we're reading is through the filter, through our glasses that we see life through. So that it's important. I have found it important to become more observant, allowing myself to feel it rather than filter it. Does that make sense? Oh, I can feel the energy. Well, so what our mind does, oh, it feels like something I've experienced before, and there goes the story. Oh, okay, I'm feeling pressure. I'm feeling sensations in my head. I'm feeling anger from someone else. I will instantly go, not today so much, but I have, oh, dang it, what the hell? Because I so relate to the anger. That's my default. So suddenly, I'm feeling all this anger. Why am I so angry? What's going on with me? What happened? I blah, 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 blah. And I'm making up all this story. Whoa, let me just pause here. You see how I relate to it because that's my default. Sadness and grief, that can also be my default. The anger is much louder. It's much more familiar. So remembering, is it mine? I'm much quicker today to notice, oh, that's not even my stuff. But sometimes I'm in it for a little bit. And I'm like, and then I just do this. Really? Like to myself, really? It's not my stuff. It's practice. This is all practice. And it gets easier. The more we practice, like any habit, the more we practice, the easier it gets. So allow the instead of second guessing, just go, oh, well, okay, I can see that point. Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe that's part of you growing how you read the energy is to see all of it. Because they're getting something and you're getting something, and maybe you can put it together and then wait and see if if the evidence is revealed? And where is the accuracy? That helps us build our trust. So rather than second guessing and dismissing it, we just kind of park it over here and go, all right, I'm just going to hang out here and let it be revealed. Trusting and knowing that it will be, if you're meant to know. More often than not, it is. All right. That's the tough part. Everyone says to shield, and imagining that doesn't help. We can shield. Really, it's about grounding ourselves. And we talk a lot about protecting ourselves. And while that's true, that's where we turn the blinkers in. But to pray and send every negative energy or other people's wills for me back to the sender, yes. Their behavior will bring the clarity, yes. So returning it to sender, yes, is good. It's a good place to, particularly in those relationships. I cut the cords a lot. When it's someone that I'm simply observe, yeah, that's a great one. Observe, don't absorb. I feel like you get hit with a psychic attack. I use crystals. Yes, crystals are really powerful. You can charge them for what you need them to do to help amplify your energy. Psychic attack. So return, that's a good place to return their energy and cut the cords. If it's someone that I'm not in a long-term relationship with, I just cut the cords, return to sender, quick, easy. If it's someone that have been in a longer-term relationship with, or like I've done it with my mom, something happened and I went, oh, you know what, let me do this practice. And it's a whole meditation. It doesn't take a long time, but you invite them in at a soul level and you return their energy to them because it's not our place to take it. And we've done it. I've done it unconsciously for my life. In the womb. Definitely comes, yeah, energy exchange, it definitely comes back when you give, yes. So returning their energy, because you feel when they're starting to try to, connect in. We pick it up everywhere. Can we protect ourselves? Yes. We're still going to feel it. The difference is we can feel it without, as you said, observe rather than absorb. We can feel it rather than taking it on. And what that's required for me, what I have done is to deal with myself. Deal with me and my energy and my emotions. Releasing, clearing trauma. Cutting cords. Bringing my energy up. That helps me to vibrate at that higher level rather than joining them where they are. Because if we're joining someone down that's on a low vibration, complaining or psychic attack or plugging into you, then I have now lowered my vibration to be where they are. And I've heard people say, meet them where they are. Well, if I'm speaking and I'm sharing this with you, I'm not lowering my energy to do that. I'm simply offering you information and tools to help yourself. I'm not joining you down. I'm not saying that you're low vibration. Please do not misunderstand that. Low dense energy is the worst. It can be. It's heavy. So if I'm on this vibration up here, let's say at 5th dimension, and someone's down here at 3, and they're complaining or whatever they're doing, I can. I have done it. But we're in a place now where it's not in our best interest. It's never been, but it's really not in our best interest to lower. And if they're not willing to come up, then we have a gap. And we get to choose how we be in relationship. The whiny vibration is very old. When you have strong empathy, you can read multiple vibrations. Absolutely, Scott. Yes. Yeah, the whiny vibration is very old. The gossipy vibration is very old. So we get to decide how we interact or not. So there's many times when I'm in conversations or I'm around people and we had someone that was there and he just kept, I'm like, and I'll just walk away. I didn't say anything. I didn't excuse myself. I just go, and walk off. Let me go do this over here. was having a conversation with someone. She couldn't hear me. And it was so loud. It got really loud and clear to me. And I was like, oh, okay, done. And I walked away. And I used to feel really bad for that. Oh my God, I have to listen to these people and they're complaining. And I just said I would keep trying to get them to get it and hear me, and they can't hear me. Stop talking then. Because it's a waste of our time and energy, and it's a waste of theirs because they can't hear you. And how you know that? They continue to defend themselves. I have to remind myself the feeling you feel are not always mine. Yes. Hi, Maria. Good morning. Okay, wait. Oh, there was something up here that Alita said. People love drama. Yes, they do. Hi, Krista. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What did you ask? There it is. Judgment is an issue for sure with myself, bleeding to many other areas, hitting triggers. So we all, our culture, all of us. I would love to say I'm not judgmental, but I still have some. And I just have to listen to the words. So we left this meeting, perfect example. We left this meeting and I'm talking about the people, and there's three of us. And I'm like, I start to hear myself. Like, why am I talking about this? Why am I even speaking about them in this way? Oh, because I picked up all this energy from the meeting. Happens with my mom. I can't understand her when she complains and she can't stand it. It's like a joke for my spirit guides. And she has to raise hers to communicate. I guess. Doesn't anyone have morals for self anymore? That's a great question. And I don't know. Like, I could sit here and go, well, maybe, but I don't know. I don't have a judgment about that, actually. You know what? It's our job to deal with ourself. Period. It doesn't mean we don't take care of our partners or our family, but it means we take care of ourselves first. This is how we, coming back full circle to navigating the energy. In the judgment, I'm back on Alita's question. The judgment is what we've been taught our whole entire life. Thanks, Scott. Have a great day. Navigating energy, yes. So, judgment. We're not navigating. We're judging and we're joining. And it's not to make you feel bad. I don't say that to make people feel bad. Just so you have an awareness. Oh, my judgment lowers my energy. What could I do different? How can I be different with me? How can I see it different? What do I Tesh? Good morning. How do I get to be? Also, the question, there's two questions. How is this for me? Right? How is this continuing? I'm continuing with this behavior. How is it for me? And how is it from me? Because I'm creating my environment. And sometimes it's my internal environment. I might not be saying anything out loud, but when I'm sitting in the judgment of how I think it should be different, or why are they doing that? Or why did they dress like that? Or whatever. Understand. It's creating this environment in me. How does this serve my soul? Yes. Instead of judging, try to understand. Sometimes understand myself, understand where my judgment comes from. I like a good bit though too. Be clear. That is what you're doing. And when you're done, be done. We can vent on paper. We can vent with words. And it's important. It's important that we vent it out. I'm venting. Be clear. That's what I'm doing. Vent. When you're done, move into a solution. Because sometimes that's just as important to clear the energy. It's also important that we don't stay in it. I heard myself a few times telling the same story about a certain person. I'm like, why am I still talking about this? Well, because obviously there's still something for me to work through, to clear. My understanding stems from enlightenment. Yes, absolutely. So keeping ourselves open to hearing what we're ready to hear. Understanding helps us to grow. It's those aha moments, right? You hear something and you're like, oh, okay, totally makes sense now. If you understand you are an enlightened soul. But it's not always understanding from here. Not always a mental understanding. Sometimes it's a, oh, like it lands in your cells. Energy. Ethics and moral values must always be on their highest. For ourselves. People will match us where we are. And to make sure that if I'm in the highest with my ethics and moral values, that I'm not judging someone else looking down. Because everybody is where they are. That's why it's so important that we do our own internal work. Human, not programmed. Yes, we are. The mind is programmed. It's the weakest link, right? The mind is the weakest link. Oh, I just flashed on something there. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody signed up for their own journey. And it's not my job, and it's not your job to fix them, save them, or rescue them. It's also not my job to judge what their journey is. It's none of my business. What is my business is how I choose to interact or not. What's in my highest and best good? If it's in my highest and best good, it's in their highest and best good. Even though my empathic self will tell me something different. Oh my God, I don't want to hurt their feelings, and I don't want to be all blah, blah, blah. And it's like, stop. If it's in my highest good, it's in theirs. Because anything less than that is going to be a compromise for me. And that doesn't have to come with any judgment, but we'll judge it because of what we know, what we've experienced, and what we're comfortable with. It's very familiar. So this taking care of ourselves, that's the best way we navigate the energy. Whether it's someone or all the energy that we've been experiencing coming into the planet. The mind controls, the heart's more understanding. Yes. The mind is a historical database. That is all. Try to master your mind. If your mind masters you, then you are a slave in a cage. Yes. The mind is meant to be the servant. But yeah, that's also the programming, and that's a whole other rabbit hole. It is meant to be the servant. From the heart. Like we live from the heart and let the mind be the servant of the heart. But it's not always that. We've not learned that. We are now learning that. That's why that listening to the body, listening to the heart, listening to your feelings, not what the mental chatter is making up. And it comes from observation, observing what Scott had said, observing rather than controlling. Observing rather than absorbing. And rather than labeling it. When we're observing, feeling, what's the sensation? Where is it in my body? Rather than, oh my God, I'm feeling all this anger and I'm feeling all this sadness. Label, right? Boom, label, and I'm off with the story. What it must mean. A million different ways. And I simply feel it, breathe into it, it moves. The energy moves and it clears. So listening to your body, particularly, let's talk about the plasmic energy that's coming in, the Mercury retrograde right now. People are afraid of reprogramming their minds. Yes, right. They are afraid of changing and live in fear. A lot of people do, yes. And that's what we are here as empaths to do, is to raise the vibration, which starts with us. Learning how to listen to our body. What do you need right now? What kind of food do you need right now? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to lay down? Do you need to have a good cry? Do you need to talk to someone? Do you need to go journal? Do you just need to be quiet for a while? Do you need to take a bath? Just a few things. But listening to your body, what does it need? And then doing that thing. Instead of, oh no, I got to go to work. Maybe we do have to go to work, but take some time. Take a few minutes to honor that, what your body's requesting of you. I know some people, we have commitments, we have responsibility, we have that stuff. But take moments of your time then to honor what you need to do to take care of yourself. I know people that will call out sick. A lot of us are self-employed, so we have sometimes I have commitments to people that have appointments. So I take the time around that, or I get up early in the morning and take the time to do my meditations. And then sometimes I'm just laid flat. I'm like, oh my God, I just need a nap. And there's nothing else to do but to go take a nap. And they're not long. Sometimes it's just closing your eyes for 5 minutes. And when we don't listen, it's like when we don't listen to how stressed we are or how much we're working and pushing ourselves, and then we get sick. Our body is going to flatten us if we don't listen. We get empathic illnesses because we don't clear our body of the energy. We don't listen. This is all learning for us. To honor ourselves. We are sacred. We're all special in our own way. I was going to say we're special, but we're not special like apart from people, but we came in with a certain purpose. And our purpose here is an empath, light worker, Blu-ray, grid worker, whatever that is, highly sensitive. We're here to raise the vibration. Assist Mother Earth. People are afraid to... Oh, let me scroll back down here. On my computer, okay. Judgments are very easy. People find it crazy when they don't get some facts, which I know. You're right. Absolutely. I know that's been my experience too. I would tell people, I was in an organization, I'd say something, they go, well, how do you know that? I'm like, oh. Because I know. But that wasn't enough. I'm no longer in that organization. That was years ago. So it's finding those people. I test the waters. I really had to work around boundaries. And self-care so my body doesn't crash. Exactly. And I can still push for a while, and I have, and I occasionally do. I'm much better. I had to check in with myself. I'm much better today. But sometimes I'll still push myself. And then when I'm done pushing, I go sit down and I rest. And I let my body reset. That's why my naps are pretty short. They're 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. But when I, like that, I'm waking up and I can feel that. I can feel the reset. My energy's reset itself. And if you don't have time, take 5 minutes or smudge. Call in your helpers to clear your energy. Cut the cords. There's all kinds of ways. And it's whatever resonates for you in the moment. And if you don't have a lot of time in the moment, then when you do have some more time, take the time and do that. I am so guilty. I don't have time to sit here and watch all these videos that people send to me. Or I've been in a training and I missed the live and, I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, of course I have time. How important is it? Is that a priority right now? Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. Taking care of me, number one priority. And then sometimes I'll default to the old way, the familiar way. It's all process. It's all process. It's all progress. As we say in AA, progress, not perfection. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm simply taking steps each day to be greater than I was yesterday. to be more aligned or to be in the flow or to take better care of myself. I can look back at when I don't know, several years ago when I got sober. Even in the time I was sober, that's a whole other book. I don't recognize that woman. And I got to play it out with my friend. Oh my God, it was so funny. He was talking about this person who was what she had made up in her mind because she had called him and he was on his vision quest. And then she sent a text and just way out of context and way out of proportion. And I got to mimic what the dialogue was in her head. And then I got to laugh about it and go, I'm so disconnected from that because that's so not who I am today. But it was once upon a time. Yeah, my self-esteem was in the pit. So, from there to here, like a whole nother person. I look back sometimes and I go, who are you? Who's that person? That's what it took to get me here. She got me here. He got me here. Whoever it is, man or woman, doesn't matter. That person got you here. So thank them. Honor that person that you've been. Your identity, how you've been. We couldn't do it without them. Oof, a lot of energy about that. We couldn't have done it. I could not be here without the woman I was before. Couldn't do it. I wouldn't be who I am today without all those experiences. Oh, judgment. Just flash on that big word of judgment. I judged my... Hold on. It's very old. It's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion there. How'd you work on your self-esteem? What was your process? Oh my goodness, that's a long one. Tammy, if you're interested, let's do offline, or I can do that next time. But that's a deep conversation. It's a lot. There's not like one thing. So the judgment, let me come back to that. The things I did, the things that happened to me. My adult self today judged my 10-year-old. You knew better. He was always a creep. You knew he was a bad person. You knew. Yes, I did. I felt it. In every fiber of my being, I felt it. And I still got molested. You know why? Respect your elders. I was 10. And then I'm taking my adult self now who knows better or different and judging the 10-year-old? Yeah. Do you do spiritual healing courses? I do. Yes. Okay, let me put my email in the comments. Please email me and we will have more conversation. I just forgot my email address. Marty@empathicsuperpower.com. Yes. So that's a lot of our judgment is we're taking, because, I think I did know better. Of course you knew better when you were a kid. But what was your teaching as a kid? We have all these beliefs and things that we were taught and terror of our parents if we were out of line. So yes, I did things, even though I knew. I was never taught to trust that. How could I do anything different? And then I passed the judgment of this adult person onto this child. Would you do that to your own child? Would you judge them for being a child and not knowing different? And if you don't have children, would you do it to your nieces or your nephews or any child? Most of us wouldn't. So we're doing that to ourselves and our inner child, our children that live inside of us. I hope that's helpful, because that was a huge, when I was like, oh my God, I'm taking this person here and judging someone who didn't know different. Making their best decision at 10 to do what they're told. Yes. Exactly. That respect your elders has been well utilized by predators. I have that wound also. I allowed much to happen to me. It's part of how we get here. Well, hello, Lillian. Do you like training online? I'm not sure. Do you mean like this? In many cultures, elders are always right. It's the mistakes of the child only. Yes, people don't look into their mistakes. Yes. And that's that generational trauma that gets passed on. And we're here to break those cycles. We're here to change that. Thanks for the stars. We are here to change that. We are here to transform. We are here to help others do the things. All right, Natalie, good. Thank you. That's what we're here for. And when someone told me that, if this is my role, I was mad at first. If the trauma changes, the trauma changes. The traumas cancel. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not interpreting that. So, anybody have any more questions? Questions or comments? Thank you for interacting. Thanks for your comments, your questions, your insights. Email me if you'd like to have more conversation. We'll set up a time and do that. I know. I have a window open. A lot of the windows in the house don't open. We haven't figured out we bought the house and they're just stuck. So, my window here opens. That's really cool. So I love the birds. Love them. In a week's time, everything just totally greened up. It's beautiful. So, Alita, you are a blessing to me also. You all are, really. And thank you for that, Alita. I do. I love you all. I appreciate you for being here. I'm grateful I get to get a break, and then I get to come back and we all show up together. So, all right. I know, I miss seeing everybody here. Yep. I would love to learn many things. Yes. So I love to come here. I'm here every Wednesday, except for when I'm gone like that. That's the first time I've missed. So every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'm here doing this kind of thing. I don't always know what the topic is until the day of. Like, it's not outlined. It's whatever spirit is leading me to do. And when I was reading the article about all the energies and all the plasma, are you coming back on today? Not here. Not in here. I might do something in my group. Empathic Superpower is my private Facebook group. If you would like to join me, I do a live typically every Saturday morning. I do another live there in the group. Empathic Superpower with Marty Hicks-Forrest, I think is how I wrote it out. So you can join me there. I do more there because that's my private group, and I share this page with Mimi. This is her place. So I get to come in and be the guest, which is super cool. And I'm just grateful that I get to be here with you all. So have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Be well. Take care of yourself. Really, really, really listen to yourself. Drink lots of water. Go put your feet bare on the earth. Just go connect. Go touch a tree. These are all things that help us ground. Help us ground into ourselves and our energy. So I will see you here next week at 9 a.m. And I'll be on Saturday in my group. So you can come there. There's a ton of videos in there that are just stored in there, so you can pick up anything you'd like. All right. Take good care. I love you all very much. I'm so glad to be back. I will see you here next week. Namaste.